Thank
It's
you.
like it's
Yeah.
like the VA way of doing it. VA doesn't require.
Yeah.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining. My name is Aiko. I'm part of the team here at Roadmap Consulting. Thank you for joining us at our today's Contract Administration and Compliance Support webinar. So throughout the session, as you heard, we encourage everyone to drop your questions like TDR or FCP related updates in the chat, and we'll do our best to address all of your questions during the Q&A portion. So I want to briefly talk about our awesome speakers today. Michael Perch is the founder, owner, and managing director here at Roadmap Consulting. He's also a subject matter expert in the fields of federal and state public procurement. He's a DC, SPDC senior consultant as well, and an adjunct professor at George Mason University, and a 10-year SCORE mentor in the DC chapter. So Mike has over 30 years of experience, more or less, in federal government contracting, program management, training, and curriculum development. Since 2009, Mike has assisted over 300 firms in acquiring government-wide acquisition contracts and GSA MES contracts via Roadmap Consulting's GSA 360 service offering. And we're going to talk about one of the services, which is CAC, or Contract Administration and Compliance. So these contract awards are resulted in over $1 billion of task order awards to RMC clients. So now I'd also like to introduce his partner for today's webinar, my colleague Alexander Dumokal Jr. He's our senior contracts manager at Roadmap Consulting and specializes as well in GSA, MES compliance, and contract administration. So Alex works closely with our clients to ensure the contracts are fully compliant and competitive, and he'll likely support us in today's call. So without further ado, it's my pleasure to welcome both our speakers, Mike and Alex. Mike, take it away.
Thank you so much, Aiko. Yeah, welcome everyone to our presentation today on contract administration and compliance. Certainly a very important and very timely presentation we're planning to do, we're looking to do rather, to help folks to plan for what is about to happen. For those folks who already have their GSA schedules, big changes are taking place as a result of Refresh 31, which will be forecasted to be dropped on February 28th, the end of this month. Major changes in how you're going to manage your contract going forward. So we wanted to have this webinar for our existing clients as well as those clients that are looking to possibly request our assistance in addressing those changes, mostly in the area of TDR, transactional data reporting, and FCP compliance. So that's going to be the main portion of our presentation today. We don't want to take up too much of your time. The idea is to whet your appetite, let you know that we're here to assist, and we have account managers that can set up one-on-one meetings with you to address your specific requirements and go more in depth in terms of how we could assist. So yeah, bear with us, myself and Alex, over the next 15, 20 minutes. We'll get through this presentation. Feel free to ask any questions at any point along the way and or at the end, and we'll make sure to address all questions. Okay, so the agenda for today is talk a little bit about our background experience here at Roadmap. Tell you a little bit about some of the experiences we've had in terms of helping companies to get on schedule, maintain their schedule, as well as market their schedule. And then we're going to dive right into the new GSA MAS contract compliance requirements that are going to be coming up. One thing I forgot to mention, we are going to ask you guys to respond to some poll questions as we go through the presentation. So if you would please provide answers to some of these questions that are going to pop up from time to time, that'd be great. Okay. Oh, I shouldn't have done that. Okay, sorry. Okay. You guys see my screen, presentation screen?
Yes, Mike.
Okay,
Yeah.
great. All right. So then we're going to go into our process of how we handle clients that do engage with us for our CAC service. We're going to give you one example of a business case study that speaks to how we've been responsive in helping companies get out of tight situations that they found themselves in with GSA. Obviously, getting on schedules, a lot of work, a lot of time invested, a lot of money. The idea is to make sure you can stay on schedule for the entire 20-year period that the contract extensions do allow for, and that's where we come in to assist you in managing your schedule. Number five, we'll talk about some of our levels of support that we can assist you with, depending upon what your requirements are. And then number six, we'll kind of sum things up as far as any next steps in the event that you'd like to work with us. Okay. First of all, just a little bit about Roadmap very briefly. We've been around for 17 years. We currently serve a little bit over 100 clients nationwide. Um, we provide the main services we provide are comprehensive proposal support, helping companies to get on schedule, contract administration and compliance, helping them to stay on schedule, adhere to all the terms and conditions and pricing requirements that the GSA contract does require for, and then also marketing your schedule. So once you're on schedule, you have to, hit certain sales, GSA minimum sales over the course of the 20 years that you're on schedule. We help you to achieve that through our MCM service. Um, Okay, so I'm going to figure out how to get rid of that when it pops up. Okay, and we're also, just to mention, we are also ISO certified. So what that translates into for you as a client is that we're going to handle all the details, all the complexities through our quality assurance as a result of our ISO certification. We are a GSA schedule holder ourselves. We maintain relationships with certain government agencies, and we do a lot of our work through our own GSA schedule. As our name implies, we provide a strategic roadmap to help you implement successful business practices. Um, Services we provide, again, GSA 360. We also help with SBA certifications, although we don't get heavily involved in those. We just kind of consult with you on some of the best practices we've helped other clients with in the past. Um, we also provide individual management consulting services, individual requirements that clients have for management consulting in the areas of federal procurement or federal or state procurement support. We also get a lot of clients involved in getting ISO certified and CMMC level 2 compliance as a result of a couple of strategic partners we have where we can help you there and manage the process along with our strategic partner. Of course, CMMC is becoming very, very important for defense contractors as the requirements for that now have escalated and there's a timetable involved, so we can help you there. We also get involved in business development, legal, and CPA requirements you may have. So the thrust of what we do is to become a one-stop, competent, comprehensive federal government contracting support service company to essentially grow with your needs as you grow within the federal sector. A little bit about the GSA Mass. Most of you probably already know this, but the GSA Mass starts off with a 5-year base period that you're awarded, and then you have three potential five-year options after that. So long as you're in compliance, you get awarded the option periods, I should say. And so the possible total is 20 contract years. There are about 12,000 firms on the GSA Mass right now, and the majority of those firms are small businesses. The majority of the firms in the U.S. are small companies, and that's reflected also within the GSA Mass as well. The approval process involves submitting a technical, administrative, and cost proposal in response to the most recent GSA solicitation, and that is evaluated by GSA. Length of time for approval is anywhere between 3 and 6 months. And of course, as I said, our CPS service, Comprehensive Proposal Support Service, does assist. If you do need to get on schedule, we can certainly assist you with that requirement. Um, So, in terms of the requirements, once you're on schedule, we broke the requirements into 4 areas. The first is reporting and financial obligations. So as I think I've mentioned, the minimum GSA sales requirement once you're on schedule for the first 5 years is $100,000, and then it's $125,000 for subsequent periods beyond that. Um, Big thing that my colleague Alex is going to talk about in just a minute is the shift toward monthly TDR reporting, sales reporting. That's a departure from what GSA was doing in the past, where it was arbitrary as far as TDR reporting, or in some cases, certain sins did require the TDR. Now it's mandatory across all sins, and it used to be done on a quarterly basis too. Now it's all being shifted toward TDR monthly sales reporting. Alice could talk a little bit more about that in a minute, but that's a big requirement that's now will be active as of the release of the release of Refresh 31 at the end of the month. The second requirement is administrative compliance, so that's active registration within the SAM.gov platform, and timely modifications for mass mods that come out. Third area is post-award contract administration and maintenance. So if you're looking to add to your schedule, more SINs, more LCATs, more solutions, more products, we can assist you there. Because of the new requirement for FCP, the FCP platform, even if you don't do any sort of modifications to your schedule, there will need to be a modification done to basically move all of your data from the current platform through SIP now to the FCP platform. And I was going to talk a little bit more about that in just a second. So again, big changes happening within GSA in the near term, within the next 30 days. Then the fourth area is audit, becoming audit ready, and documentation, having all your documentation in order. And we'll describe for you a little bit later as to how we assist there. The idea is to be able to successfully defend your company when you are hit with a GSA assessment, which another term for it is an audit, sometime in the first 5 years of being on schedule, and then every period beyond that, you will have an audit performed on your adherence to the terms and conditions and the other requirements of your GSA schedule contract. Okay. All right. So that's it. I'm going to turn it over to Alex to talk a little bit about FCP and TDR and all the things that are about to go down as far as the requirements on the part of GSA. Alex?
Thank you, Mike. So I'll go over the GSA MES mandatory FCP update. Hello, everyone. First question, what is FCP? FCP stands for FAS Catalog Platform. This is the new GSA MES cloud-based system, replacing the old SIP system, which technically chooses a type of computer that you can use for that program. It's not really a computer-friendly program. It's only applicable for Windows, but not with Mac. But with FCP, it can be used with different computers who has access to any web browser. So that's one of the advantage of this new platform. Now, why does FCP matters to contractors? So if you are a GSA MES contract holder, this is now the new platform that will govern or take care of your catalog. It will automatically link your price list or the FCP product file or the FCP service plus file to your GSA Advantage. So it's gonna be an all-in-one platform. It's user-friendly, I would say, compared to SIP, because I have handled both. And I kind of like loving FCP now compared to the old way of doing it. What involves in the FCP migration? So first thing is we would need to submit a modification using the eMod platform of GSA. That is where we submit the baseline modification, and it's going to be linked to the FCP cloud-based website where you do most of the uploading of data One important file that will be uploaded there is your Service Plus file that replaces the old or the legacy price proposal template. So, and a lot of stuff that you will do in the FCP platform, like there's going to be some troubleshooting if you will encounter some error. Now, the good thing with RMC is that we have gone through multiple clients. We have successfully migrated small and large businesses to FCP. We have experienced migrating services or clients that provide services and clients that provides products to FCP. And we have gained expertise on how to ensure that the Service Plus file or the product file will go through different levels of checks that FCP does. It's all automated. It's like an AI thing. There will be no contractor who will review in the first stage of the uploading. The contracting officer will only check the final submission. So with what we have gained in terms of expertise in filling out the Service Plus file, the product file, and the terms and conditions file, it's something that we are confident that we can help you in terms of moving your legacy file from the SIP to FCP, as well as we can also help you maintain your FCP catalog after we're done completing your baseline modification. So if you're interested to know more about FCP migration, feel free to set up a consultation with me and Mike. And for this slide, what is changing with Refresh 31? Initially, this will be, or it was already announced that this will be released by February 28th. And we were informed that by February 23, contractors and offerers will start getting those notifications. Now, the first bullet, TDR becomes mandatory for all MES SINs. Now, what's in it for you if you already have a GSA MES contract? So this is not applicable for you in terms of withdrawing your offer, because you're not submitting an offer anymore. However, this will affect you if your contract has SINs that were not under TDR or the transactional data reporting. So all SINs, including services, will now be required to participate in this reporting process by GSA. Second is the SCP FSS-001. This is the guideline of GSA MES in terms of how you submit an offer. However, if you are a contract holder, this would impact you in terms of modifications. Now, the good thing with this update is that it removes the previously the CSP file or the price reduction clause where you have to make GSA your most favorite customer. That clause has now been removed with TDR, and it is now more streamlined, and the narrative is not that complex in terms of adding modifications compared to the old way of doing it, or to the old way of submitting modifications. Third bullet, the new AI compliance language is added across category attachments to align with federal AI executive orders and OMB guidance. So it's really more on aligning what you are submitting to GSA to align with the executive order for AI. Not much of an impact though if you are a contract holder for now. The fourth one, this is not affecting the existing contract holder for GSA. This is only applicable for offerers. So startup springboard is now restricted. They raised the bar higher compared to the previous way of selecting startup springboard offerers. Now it's only limited to offers that will be tied to an IT initiative. So if you will be offering SINs that are related to IT, so if you don't have enough experience, you can still apply for a new GSA MES contract. But if you don't have any IT SINs to offer, then the startup springboard may no longer be applicable for you. The next bullet is the office supplies A09 subcategory is being overhauled. So it's just really removing the 80-20 rule and giving more clarity in terms of scope and exclusions, like the IT furniture, restroom products, and all the other products that is subject to this subcategory. Lastly, the OLM scene is expanded. So now GSA has removed the restrictions on some subcategories that are limiting contractors for the OLM sin. It's now more, GSA has given clear guidance in terms of the usage of OLM sin, and they have removed the restriction to some other subcategories. It's now open to all other subcategories, but with clear guidance. And that's pretty much it for the Refresh 31 update that will be released on the 28th of February for this year. Back to you, Mike.
Thank you, Alex. Yeah, as we started out saying, a lot of changes, a lot of major changes happening, not only with Refresh 31, but also a lot of changes occurred back in June, July of last year with Refresh 30. So GSA is overhauling a lot of ways in which they have done business. And yeah, again, we could support your company and your GSA schedule in terms of adapting to those changes. All right, so very quickly, we're going to go through a little bit about our contract administration and compliance process. What we typically do with clients is we will, once they hire us to support them on their contract, we take all of the administrative burden off of them. We assume that burden, but we keep them in the loop as far as all the things that we're doing. A couple of ways we do that is by issuing a quarterly status update report, which covers 7 or 8 different areas, all pertaining to the maintenance of your GSA contract, giving updates as far as all the activity that occurred during the last 90 days, bringing everything current as far as from the actual date of award of your contract all the way up until this particular period. So it's a great summary for folks to look at and know exactly where they are with their GSA schedule. It's another good reason for having this report is that when the auditors do come in to do the GSA assessment, we usually just hand them this report supported by access to all the files that we keep on a cloud-based service or cloud-based platform. And the auditor basically has all of their questions answered right there in that one location on the report as well as within the files. So we keep you audit ready, in other words, by keeping everything organized, keeping you up to date, making everything accurate in terms of the reporting. We will do such things as look at your GSA schedule, look at the awards you're getting, making sure that you're in scope compliance with both the SIN as well as the LCATs. Making sure that everything is there. So at any point in time, if the audit occurs, there's no scrambling around to get files in order. We already have them in order. We keep everything on our OneHub platform, very similar to a SharePoint flat platform, cloud-based, secure, organized, so that it's very easy to find things. We give you updates again on a quarterly basis, but we also keep all the files at your fingertips. So if you ever want to go in and look at an actual SF30 document, an award that was made, you can do that without even getting permission from us. You have access. Okay, so the idea is to keep you audit ready, keep you up to date on all the refreshes that come out, so that that administrative burden and headaches of maintaining your schedule is transferred over to us. We'd like to talk about one of our case studies where we were able to rescue an actual schedule that was about to be canceled because of the GSA minimum sales requirement. We had a client that came to us kind of at the 0 hour, about to have their contract canceled, and we were able to find one of their awards that did qualify as a GSA schedule award. And we managed to communicate with the contracting officer, and we were able to rescue the schedule that was about to be canceled. So again, we can step in and interface with GSA. We have a lot of great relationships with the contracting officers within the GSA mass system. And because of our 17-year reputation, they listen to us. We're not going to say anything out of line or it's not accurate. And so we can represent your company in terms of making sure you stay compliant with GSA. No need to invest all the money, time, and effort to get on schedule and then have something happen where you're being escorted off the schedule. By the way, too, if you're ever escorted off the schedule, one of the requirements that was outlined in, I think it was refresh either 29 or 30, is now you have to wait 2 years before you can get back onto schedule. It used to be 1 year. It's been increased now to 2 years. So again, very important to maintain your schedule. Make sure that you're not in violation of any of the terms and conditions that might cause your GSA contractor to escort you off. Client testimonials, we got a bunch of them. Just name a few here. I won't go into them, but certainly if you ever wanted to get a reference, we can provide you with a bunch. As far as our pricing is concerned for contract administration and compliance, 7 different levels, all based upon the level of effort associated with each. So for some clients, they may be looking at a certain number of contract mods in the next year, and we'll base the pricing based upon that service level. All service levels get all of the compliance coverage that we offer, right? So there's no need to worry about, we're not covering this or we're not covering that. Once you become a CAC client, we cover all the compliance requirements, both administrative and otherwise within GSA. The level of effort is more so based upon how many contract mods you're looking to do over the next year. Some companies looking to add a whole lot of SINs to their schedule, add a whole lot of LCATs to their schedule, products, services, solutions, and based upon that projection, we'll give you a fixed price quote that'll cover you for the next 12 months. We also have a time and materials level too. So if you just want to go on a T&M basis, we can certainly support you that way as well. The big thing to note, though, is that once you become a CAC client, we take on the responsibility of ensuring that you will stay in strict compliance to your terms and conditions of your contract, irrespective of the level that you're on. So next steps, just to sum things up, if you would like to discuss your specific requirements, I sort of strongly advise you to set up a consultation appointment. Ike will jump back on in just a minute and give you instructions on how to do that. If you're ready to move forward after the consultation, we'll send you an agreement for services and we'll set up a kickoff meeting to go over all of the requirements, the deliverables, the timetables involved, and then we'll issue again quarterly updates in the form of our CAC status update report. Of course, we can meet with you at any point in time. We make ourselves available to you at any point in time to discuss whatever requirements you may have. And certainly, there's a way that if there's any way we can assist you in maintaining your schedule and keeping your schedule growing and marketing your schedule and all that good stuff, we're here to support you. Speaking of marketing, we will have in another month or so our webinar on marketing and capture management. Some really unique things we're doing in that area, using AI to support identifying the opportunities that are specific to your company's capabilities, qualifying those opportunities, giving a go or no go as far as issuing a proposal, and helping you to put together the proposal, again, using AI technology, one of the AI agents that we've developed that gives you a turnkey solution for identifying, qualifying, and responding to RFPs, RFQs, RFIs that come out under GSA eBuy, as well as open market requirements or open market solicitations, as well as state and local solicitations. So it's a turnkey solution for all your needs, federal, state, and local level, as far as marketing at a very affordable fixed price cost per month. You can start and stop the service at any point in time. So it becomes very easy to scale and decide when and where you want to actually get our support great service. I strongly advise you to sit in on that presentation on March 19th. That does it for me. I'm going to turn you back over to Aiko, and she will close things out. Thank you so
Yeah.
much for your time.
Thank you, Mike, and thank you, Alex, as well. Feel free to drop additional questions in the chat. We're keeping an eye on them. Our contract managers, it's either me, our proposal writer, or our contract manager, are trying their best to answer it real time. We've also added our social media links and also Mike's Calendly link for a free consultation with him or Alex. Feel free to check it out and reserve your spot if you have additional information or additional questions. So additionally, we've shared our links to our website. You can find out more information about GSA items, more in-depth information on FCP. We have blogs as well in those sections on our website, so feel free to browse our website. We also have our Calendly link. You can book an appointment straight from there as well. So going back to the Q&A, let's answer some questions. Some are answered, but I just like to recap for the sake of everyone. So does Roadmap Consulting only work with GSA MAS, or do we also work with GSA Oasis and Oasis Plus? The answer is yes. We also work with Oasis and Oasis Plus in addition to GSA MAS. And of course, I know, unfortunately, I'm sorry, there are a lot of acronyms in the GSA world. So we will try our best to address them and also put them on our website for everyone's understanding. An example is SIP. So SIP is the old legacy GSA system. It will be replaced by FCP, or what Alex was saying, FAS catalog platform. So it stands for Schedule Input Program. So that's the old program. So that's when the old GSA contractor used to upload their price list, products, and services in GSA Advantage. I hope that answered that. And we also have do we are we going to give you a tour of the website for FCP migration? Unfortunately, particularly to Roderick, due to the time constraint of our webinar, and as well confidential information, because when we walk through, we should be using your account or your company's account, so that we will be able to go deep dive and will not be able to walk through and give you a sample. So feel free to schedule a consultation call for further discussion or assistance in the FCP service. So can we combine GSA and open market items on one sale? So according to Alex here, open market items are still allowed under FAR, and that didn't change. But there's a refresh 31 shifts the expectation. So if you have a GSA MAS contract and you need to add something that isn't on your price list, GSA wants you to use the OLM SIN instead of relying an open market item. All right. So
If I
another.
could, yeah,
Go
if I could
ahead.
just jump in. Yeah, I think that even with that, the answer to the question is yes, you can list open market items. Usually, and it really varies from contracting officer to GSA contracting officer to GSA contracting officer, but there's a certain proportion that GSA will look at in terms of qualifying um, the actual sale you may have to your ordering agency, the proportion of the GSA portion of the sale to the open market portion or the OLM portion of the sale. So the answer is yes, but there has to be a dominant portion of the items that are in your actual proposal and subsequent award that is attributable to your GSA schedule. So we can certainly discuss that with you in detail. It sounds like you have a specific situation. Be happy to consult with you on that and give you our best advice and direction on how you should proceed with it.
Thank you, Mike. And yes, thank you for answering that in depth. And I'm also answering some of the questions here. Some came in late, and will they have a copy of the slides? Absolutely. We'll also share a copy of the recording. Just share to us your email address where we can send it, or you can definitely book a consultation if you have additional questions. So Anne has a follow-up question as well. Is this open market or OLM GSA items to open market items still 51%, Mike, or slash
Yeah,
49%? Mhm.
Yeah, well, it's actually a little bit higher than that. Again, we've seen a range of percentages as you go from one GSA contracting officer to another, but it's usually higher. It's more like in the 70-75% range, GSA to non-GSA items to qualify as a GSA sale, the use of your schedule. But yeah, it's more like in the 70s, all the way up to 80% is what we've experienced in the past.
Okay. Thank you, Mike. And that's answered live from Harry. Thank you, Anne, as well. So Harry has a question. If an RFP, Mike, needs me to price a labor category that is not on my GSA schedule, then can I map to it, or does it need to be on my schedule to code it?
No, absolutely. You can map to it if, in fact, it falls within the same scope requirements of your GSA sale. That's the idea, is that it has to fall within the scope requirement, but you can map to it. And what I would advise you to do subsequent to issuing that proposal is to maybe you know, expand your schedule to include that LCAT so that, for the next opportunity you have, you can maybe use it specifically. But GSA does allow you to map the ordering agencies as well to um, your proposed GSA LCATs to your existing GSA LCATs. But again, the scope requirement is so important that it has to be examined in order for the GSA audit not to reveal something that's negative.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you, Mike. And lastly, just a confirmation, Mike, is it still permissible to combine open market and GSA items on any given transaction?
Yeah, again, the proportion has to be correct, right? For it to be considered a GSA sale. So again, 70-80%, depending upon who you talk to, as far as a GSA contracting officer, is what they require. They do allow for open market pricing on an actual contract award, but it's usually, again, 70-80% GSA schedule items, and then the remaining portion being open market items or OLM items.
All right, two more questions. Mike or Alex, do I need to have price support documentation in order to add a labor category to my schedule?
Well, that's one of the questions that's going around is that again, because of Refresh 31 and the dependence upon TDR reporting, GSA has taken a whole new posture in terms of pricing support, right? It's almost abandoning pricing support and looking at just, the GSA rates that you're going to propose or offer uh, in relation to your commercial pricing on an ongoing basis, looked at monthly now as opposed to what was done in the past. What we have, the position we've taken is that we're still going to ask for invoices, still provide the pricing support with the understanding that, maybe during negotiations it's not going to be considered or not going to be looked at, but we still feel as though it's valuable information for the contracting officer to look at in making a price determination as to whether your proposed GSA schedule rates are deemed to be fair and reasonable, right? They're going to do their own market survey of other GSA contract holders and look at that. But I think invoices do play a part. I think there's going to be a slow transition toward eliminating invoices. So our position right now is that we're still going to ask for invoices and still include them in the e-offer package.
Thank you, Mike. I hope that answers your question. And lastly, David, from David, in your experience, how long is expanding the schedule changing to add new services these days, assuming the labor categories are on the schedule already?
I assume what you mean is the length of time it takes to mod your schedule, and
Right.
that length of time is usually 30 to 60 days, depending again on the GSA contracting officer you have. It's a lot easier to get obviously items added to your schedule once you're on schedule, post award, modifying your contract is fairly straightforward. It's a lot less complicated, a lot easier than your initial GSA e-offer. And a lot of times it just boils down to the caseload as to when your GSA CO can get to your offer. But with the proper package, obviously, everything that you should include in the modification package, which is of course a function of the modification guidelines that GSA gives you. As long as that's complete, usually about 30, 60 days to get it done is what we've experienced.
Thank you, Mike. I hope that answers David. So that's it for our questions. If you do have more questions in depth, or if you're absolutely ready to expand your schedule, modify your schedule in any way, feel free to check out our chat. Wilbert has just posted the Calendly link of Mike and also our social media sites, our website as well. So we feel free if you have more in-depth questions, personalized questions for your company, feel free to book a consultation call with us today. All right, and get that personalized support. All right, that wraps it up for today, Mike. And any unanswered questions, we'll definitely communicate everyone through our email at info@roadmapc.com, or from me or from any of our account managers. Definitely look forward for the copy of the slides or the copy of the recording of the webinar, those who requested. So we truly appreciate everyone's time and engagement. Thank you for joining us today, and we'll see you in March for our MCM webinar. Take care, everyone, and enjoy the rest of your day. Bye-bye.